On the 24th of February, 1776, foul weather keeps the Parisians inside, unless they really have to leave the house. Those who have to affront the showers of hail and sleet take the narrow streets in order to protect themselves against the biting gale which is blowing. An elderly man takes the narrow alleys of the cloisters as the most sheltered way to Notre Dame Cathedral. Huddled up in his coat, a fur cap pulled over his eyes, a parcel wrapped in paper under his arms, he tries to enter the cathedral through the portal which gives direct access to the choir. The door is closed. Now what? Deliberating which door to take, he looks at statues above the door. Christ crowning Our Lady, in the presence of King Louis IX and his wife Marguerite of Provence. Maybe the portal of the cloisters will be open. Good. The door is open. People are passing the crowned Virgin, which serves as a pillar in the middle. These visitors are probably going to listen to a motet, which is always performed on Saturdays in the Cathedral of Notre Dame. This performance will allow him to enter the choir of the cathedral unnoticed. As soon as he enters the cathedral, he sees the rose window in all its splendor. Staring at the rose, his eyes get accustomed to the darkness. What's that? He cannot get into the choir? No. A grill has sealed off the choir. How is that possible? During the 36 years that he visited Notre Dame, he had never seen this grill, leave alone seen the choir closed. Could he get into the choir on the side, maybe? No. Impossible. Looking through the grill into the choir, he sees the altar and the Pietà behind it. No way to reach it. Can't even get close. My God! 4 years he worked on his manuscript. His mind darkened more and more as he proceeded. For 15 years he suffered from a conspiracy to defame him. Is it surprising that he felt the need to clear himself before he dies? These horrible accusations. There is no contradiction in his writings. There is no contradiction between the individualism of his discourses and the collectivism of the social contract. He never wanted to destroy science. His interest in a state of nature does not imply a return to barbarism. Far from it. Weren't his pages of Julie and Emile filled with virtue and tenderness? But no, the conspirators didn't want to hear about it, didn't want to see it. Hasn't he been burnt in effigy? Hasn't he been serenaded in mockery? His enemies even kept watch on all his visitors. They stirred up his neighbors to insult him. If only good and honorable people would know. It has taken him 4 long years to write his apology. Voila. Rousseau, judge of Jean-Jacques. In order to make sure that the conspirators cannot get hold of his manuscript, he now has to put it on the altar of Notre Dame. He addressed the manuscript to Providence. Yes, to Providence. That's the only way. Look at this. Look at this. Sealed off. Providence has ranged herself on the side of the conspirators. This can't be true. But it is. Providence has joined the conspirators. Looking up at the keystone above him, Rousseau is dazzled by a strange light. He grows dizzy. He has to leave the cathedral. He has to get out, quickly. His head is spinning. I'll never set foot here again. Providence has taken side with the conspirators. Fresh air. I need fresh air. In semi-delirium, Rousseau wandered in the streets for hours before he reaches his rooms. In a final desperate effort to clear his name, he later composes a plea to the French people. Copied on handbills, he distributed this plea to all Frenchmen who still love justice and truth. But several passers-by, they refused it, saying it was not addressed to them. The author concluded, these were the only honest words spoken by a French mouth over the last 15 years. After this, Rousseau resigns himself to defeat. During the rest of what he calls his miserable days, he decides to give up his war against his enemies. Why worry about his honor, his future reputation, if Providence remains indifferent to justice? His enemies may continue to torment his life, but they won't prevent him from dying in peace.